Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping.
Welcome to our show. The first key point we had to talk about here is the framework in both 400 Blows and The Graduate. The final shot in 400 Blows, like The Graduate, is centered around the main character escaping from, wouldn't you say, the reality that they don't want to face?
Exactly.
Society.
And both of them include a long shot that lasts for multiple minutes and begins with the main character escaping from their society.
Their problems, basically.
And each scene is elongated to express their struggle and adrenaline from escaping this world.
Right. Another important component is that throughout the films, the main characters are never the center of the screen. They're always off to the side.
Which shows their alienation. But at the end, it shows that everything is coming together, and that's why they're in the middle of the screen.
You're right.
There are also freeze frames on Antoine's face at the end and on Ben's face at the end of each scene to end the movie with them as the center.
Finn is actually placed over Antoine's face, looking like jail bars. Right over his face. So we don't know his real destiny. And what about in The Graduate with the song?
And in The Graduate, there's an uncomfortable feeling with Ben and his wife as they are leaving after running away from a wedding, and the song Sounds of Silence is playing.
It's ambiguous. You don't know what's going to happen. Welcome back.
Now we will be talking about the camera angles in 400 Blows and The Graduate. So to begin, the camera angle that is shown helps the audience because it seems like we are watching the characters and running after them, and as we're watching them run away from their problems.
And then it switches to where the characters are running towards us as if we are their hope or goal, or if we know their destiny.
So as they're running, it's as if they're following the path of their long journey in order to get to their destination.
The lighting is also important because it starts out bright and optimistic as if they have a chance. But then it dims down by the end to portray that there is a important loss of hope for the characters.
And as they're running, it's as if they're running away from their problems and towards their goal. And there is a high camera angle to show their weakness because they look small compared to the rest of the shot. But it's fast-paced over long periods of time, and there are many pans to show the chaos in the world, but there are also close-ups of each character to show their emotion and their loss of hope.
You're right. Back again.
Now we'll be discussing the music in both of these films at the end of the movie. So, both of the films start with an upbeat music.
And then it turns into this strangely tempoed, ambiguous tune at the end where you don't quite really know how you feel.
Because because the upbeat is showing the hope and the search for what they want. But once their destination is reached and the music starts to slow down, it gives the audience a perspective of how their future is actually going to turn out.
It's a weird change of emotions. It's instant. Give us a little sample.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I don't know how to feel right now. Keep going.
Na, 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 na.
And all of a sudden I'm confused with my emotions. I don't know if she's going to stay married or what. It adds a nice element.
And it creates the mood for the audience.
And we strike again with questions. Gretchen.
About editing.
Gretchen, how do you express hostility in a film?
By using a lack of cuts, you're able to express the hostility of characters like Ben and Antoine in films such as The Graduate and 400 Blows.
Right. But how do you not break up time and continuity?
Without jump cuts, you're able to express
The flow.
long periods of time as if there were no editing cuts in the process of the scene.
Right. So you keep the sense of a narrative flowing how?
Through continuity editing.
That's the technique. Gretchen and Emma back on the scene.
Speaking of scene, the mise-en-scene, which is the surroundings of the small portion that we are analyzing, in both movies it's outside and out in the open, which shows the chaos that each characters are going through.
It shows that they're just a small part of this big world.
That is the mise-en-scene.
Gretchen, we have a lot of things in common, like 400 Blows and The Graduate.
What are some of the similarities in 400 Blows and The Graduate?
They're both, unlike us, misunderstood by society, which results in their own alienation and isolation, which is represented by the films themselves.
And in both of these films, unlike Emma and I yet again,
Right.
the characters struggle to find themselves in this society. And so, they must resort into escaping from their reality, which the ending scenes are supposed to solve, but we are left
Hopeless.
thinking and hopeless.
Hopeless. Throughout the film, the boys are showed alone. They're showed alone. And
Even in the final scene, although they are both with people,
or their own thoughts, like Antoine,
they are essentially alone by themselves and left with no hope.
Ben's with his woman, but you don't know if that's going to work out because instantly it's the sounds
Of silence. And their running symbolizes the chaos and what they've been through emotionally through their entire lives.
And the thing is that in the middle of these films, the audience is provided a chance to think that the characters have an opportunity at connecting with another character, but they end up alone still. And that's just how it sucks.
So the endings of the film reveal the hopelessness of these characters in a society that does not accept them.
Still remains within the sound
Of silence.